on fire.
Shabbat shalom likoliha biakahalidat Israel wa Shabbat shalom likoliha. Peace and blessings be to the house of Israel, the true house of Israel, the descendants of Ibrahim, and peace be unto this world. We understand that sometimes peace is a process of conflict, but in the end, the peace of Yahawah will reign in our hearts. I have to come on right now to bring clarification to the war of Armageddon that is being fought, so that people are not deceived by the things that are taking place, by the facades that are being thrown around by all sides, okay? And by a lot of this fake news that's floating around, okay? We have been nurtured and brought up in an era of fake news, okay? Most of the things that we believe and trust in are false. And this is what we've based and framed our lives on. Speaking of which, let's deal with the Iranian regime, okay? We've already spoke in detail about the United States and we've spoken about Israel, but we've not spoken about Iran very much. But the first thing I'll say is people need to understand Iran is not a force of righteousness, okay? They are an enemy of Allah. Okay? Ahl al-Bayt, whom they champion, whom they speak so much of, they have not helped even in the least. They have not done anything for the house. But what they have done is try to take our positions. What they have done is they have denied Ahl al-Bayt. And they rest under the same charge that they charge the Sunnis with and other misbelievers with. Now, my intention is not to tear down anyone, but to make the facts plain, okay? The other reality is that we find in the hadiths, we know from what the scriptures reveal, that the majority of those fighting on the battlefield are coming from pagan nations, the same pagan nations who ruled under the authority of the beast and the whore that sat upon the waters. We should now know who that whore is that was sitting upon the waters. We should now understand the localities of all these particular places as we can actually go through prophecy and locate these modern day references. Okay? But let us look at the record that is on the ground when we talk about Iran and we talk about Shia Islam. There's a lot to be desired of Shia Islam. There is falsehoods in Shia Islam, the same way there is in Sunnah Islam, the same way there is in Christianity, the same way there is in Judaism, the same way there is in every religion. We will find bits and pieces of falsehood because we live in the time of the Antichrist. This is the golden era of hypocrisy. People dress up and talk the part, but their hearts are far, far away from anything that we realize or recognize. And we have to understand that the same is true with the IRGC, okay? They are not friends of the Prophet's house. They are not friends of Ahl al-Bayt, not as of yet, okay? Don't know what's going to happen in the future. We do know that prophecy says that there will be a group who will lay the foundation for the government of the Mahdi. Now, I'm not sitting here quoting right now. So these are things that we have to understand. The IRGC is going to carry out the work that Yahawah Allah ordained for them. But he has also carried out a work, but he has also ordained a work for Israel, the United States, and all the other nations of the world. And in all actuality, this is their time, and they will come onto the center stage. They're there now. Some people are still in disbelief at how quick this happened, but all of this was foretold, piece by piece, event by event. Now here we are, and it's undeniable. Now what has to happen? The Messiah must rule. Okay? Everybody has gone on in their antichrist agenda, and that's why you don't hear anything about the Mahdi. You don't hear anything about Christ. You don't hear anything about the return. And that is because people are not in expectation of it, don't believe in it, and they are opposed to the prophethood. Okay? Even people like Iran, even people like Israel, even the Christians in the world today, even the so-called Jews and Muslims in the world today. The irony is that all of these people are against the Most High Yahawah Allah. And these things are not just me talking. I can show it to you in the divine books of Revelation. And we can lay charge to everybody. We can lay charge to all of us in the whole world. As the scripture reveals to us, what have we done? We have walked away from the laws and the ordinances of Yahawah Allah. And so we're tasting what our hands have sent forth. And trouble and wickedness and turmoil and fitna has appeared on land and sea. And it's all about what we have been doing. Well, remember what the Quran teaches. He said, in the end, I'm going to show you all of that you were doing. See, we're living in a time frame where he's making it clear. Nobody's going to entertain foolishness. Nobody's going to be confused anymore as to what it was they were doing. The Advent has come upon us like a thief in the night. Now, it is no longer a drill. Now, we must perform. Now, we must act. Now, we must pray. This is the time. He said that time would come where the most important thing that you can do, the most reasonable thing to do will be to make your prayers. We must understand this world has descended into chaos and judgment. The judgment will be had. And it doesn't matter how many ceasefires they broker. It doesn't matter how many times they talk or try to convene talks. There will be no peace until the true house of Israel returns back to Jerusalem and comes back to the Middle East. And all of these lies that these Gentiles, the IRGC, the Israeli government, the United States government, the European governments, United Nations, all of these people have fabricated and perpetrated a fraud and a lie in order to keep prophecy from being fulfilled. But before you're able to succeed in doing that, this whole world will be destroyed. And this is what you're going to see. Because let me tell you right now, don't think for 1 minute that these devils that Jehovah has allowed to get in place for this particular hour have decided that they're not going to keep fighting against the Most High. No, they will continue to do so until he takes away their capacity. And let me tell you, that is something that will definitely take place, but not before the will of Jehovah is done. Not before the work, his strange work in this end time, is completed. Now, the witchcraft workers are not going to have no insight over it. They're not going to have no knowledge about these movements because we've moved into a time that has surpassed their divination. But the ancient tricks, traps, pogroms that the Satan will use upon you are the same. And therefore, divine guidance has been given to those who are a part of this ummah. And they know who they are. And instructions have been given. So now, It is time for us to stand up in this hour and not be those who slumber, to not be those who are plagued by inactivity. But no, we must learn now to benefit ourselves. We must learn now to walk in our inheritance as the descendants of Ibrahim and as the sons and daughters of Jacob. We must walk now in our own inheritance, and we don't need permission from the IRGC. We don't need permission from the rabbis in Israel. We don't need permission from the United States government. We don't need permission from the historiographers and the researchers and the scientists and anybody that's collecting history. We don't need permission from anybody to be what thus saith Yahawah Allah and to fulfill this prophecy. Because let me tell you, in the ears of the whole world, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Do your worst. Do your worst. I want to see it. I'm going to tell you like this. You can't do shit against the Most High. Let me see you get your dukes. Let me see you box with him. I'm going to show you a loss that's epic, that's historical, that's prophetic, that's been written. The people of Yahawah Allah have already risen. We are in our position. And now the day of judgment will convene.